Anatomy of Scandal is an American-British anthology thriller drama streaming television miniseries developed by David E. Kelley and Melissa James Gibson, based on the novel of the same name by Sarah Vaughan. The series consists of 6 episodes and premiered on Netflix on April 15th, 2022. The story involves Sophie Whitehouse, the wife of British Tory MP James Whitehouse, who learns that her husband has been having an affair with an aide. The news goes public, blowing up their lives and forcing her to deal with the consequences of her husband's disastrous decisions. To make matters worse, James is accused of rape and has to stand trial. The cast includes Sienna Miller as Sophie Whitehouse, James's wife, Michelle Dockery as Kate Woodcroft, a QC prosecution counsel tasked with James's case, Rupert Friend as James Whitehouse, the MP and Home Office Minister and close friend to the Prime Minister, Naomi Scott as Olivia Litton, a parliamentary researcher on James's staff who has an affair with him and later accuses him of rape, Joshua Maguire as Chris Clark, Downing Street Communications Chief, and Josette Simon as Angela Regan, a QC, James's defence counsel. Some trivia notes that I read up whilst doing the research for this, which I found interesting, was the fictitious Libertines Club to which James Whitehouse belonged whilst an Oxford student was based on the real Oxford Bullingdon Club, a drinking dining club originally founded at Oxford as a hunting and cricket club in 1780. Some of its most famous members have included Prime Ministers David Cameron and Boris Johnson. Another side note was Rupert Friend's character James Whitehouse was in the fictitious Oxford Libertines Club. Friend's feature debut was in 2004's The Libertine, starring Johnny Depp. Another thing I found fascinating was a hidden spoiler in episode 1 suggests that James is indeed a villain. When Sophie texts James from her iPhone, his responses are in green, meaning that he is not on an iPhone. Apple has a policy that it will not clear use of its iPhone in movies by the villain. This policy was first made public when the movie Knives Out was released in 2019. Now, I found myself thoroughly enjoying the psychological thriller drama, with excellent acting performances from the 3 main leads in particular. I was really impressed with Rupert Friend here, who has always been somewhat of an underrated actor, but here he really shows some range, as he plays the arrogant, sometimes likeable, but overall enigmatic James Whitehouse. It's also wonderful to see Sienna Miller on our screens once again, as she is really an excellent actress with incredible range. I also enjoyed seeing Michelle Dockery here as the QC Kate Woodcroft. Unfortunately, though, Michelle has been somewhat typecast after playing in Downton Abbey for all these years, a role she finds difficult to shed. And I really enjoyed Naomi Scott in this role. I almost wanted to see more from her, but in saying that, she has a pivotal role in the show, and a very demanding one at that. Now, some of the episodes get overly dramatic, particularly with the character being thrown across a room, as at the end of the first episodes it seems to end this way. But luckily this was dropped as the remaining episodes continued. Also, I didn't particularly love the casting of Holly Berry, as you'll see how it plays out later on, and I just didn't feel this really linked up perfectly. But overall, though, the show is very well done, and it asks big questions, particularly in this post-Me Too world that we're living in, and how men in power can abuse it for their own will, and how one can lie to themselves when they believe something is consensual. Meanwhile, of course, it was rape. It also points a finger at these boy clubs, these secret societies of men, if you will, that now, of course, have taken on powerful positions within our society, and who look after each other no matter what the cause. A sad truth in our modern world, but one that is very real. Overall, the show doesn't overstay its welcome, and it moves quickly along with a very good story and good plot twists, as well as some fantastic acting from the 3 main leads. It makes for good entertainment, but in the same breath asks some important questions and pressing agendas in our current modern society. Anatomy of Scandal gets an 8 out of 10.